Good afternoon, everyone. How are you guys doing? What's going on? Welcome to episode 23 of Merchants of Novigrad, a bi-weekly podcast where we discuss everything Gwent. Today with me, my brother in arms, Hesser Tavern, and as you guys can see, we have an amazing guest, the creator of Gwent Trivia and the soon-to-be professional Fallible cosplayer, Euerfeldi. How are you doing, guys?
Hey man, doing good, doing good. Welcome everybody.
I'm also doing great. Hello, everyone.
Before we get into it, a couple of words to our viewers. As always, if you have any questions, you can ask them in chat. Hesser has been charged with the extremely responsible task of collecting the more interesting questions, and we are gonna try to answer them as we go. Also, if you want to stay in touch off stream, you can follow us on Twitter at Novigrad Podcast. And if you don't have the time to watch right now, this episode is going to be uploaded on YouTube, Spotify, and a couple of other platforms either today or tomorrow. So you can always watch episode 23 on these platforms. With that being said, the first segment of our show, as always, what have you been up to? And we are gonna start with our friend Euerfeldi. How is the Witcher playthrough?
Going along pretty good. Started strong. Currently at Velen. I always confuse those two. At the Baron Quest. So still a lot to do, but yeah, it's fun.
I mean, they're hard to confuse, I have to say. Vergen, the non-human / dwarven town in The Witcher 2, and Velen, the rather not so pleasant environment in The Witcher 3.
Yeah. Usually not, but I'm sometimes confusing them still.
I mean, you could say, Baron has a beard and dwarves have beards, so yeah, it's easy to confuse that way.
Yeah.
But are you playing with any mods? Are you playing according to some special, personal rules?
Yeah. I'm using some special rules because the game even on Deathmarsh is not quite challenging, I would say. So I'm using no Quen, I'm using no fast travel, I'm using only looted equipment and no minimap. Especially the looted equipment rule is pretty funny.
I didn't catch the last point. You are not looking at the map?
I'm looking at the map, but no minimap. So
no minimap, okay.
Because if you use the minimap, you always look at the minimap in the corner if you have to go somewhere, and then you're okay, like like a zombie. You follow it and don't look where you're actually going.
Yeah, so it sounds somewhat like my playthroughs.
Mm-hmm.
I never fast traveled unless it was necessary because you can't go to Skellige any other way. I never galloped or ran unless the quest asked me to. And at some point, I did disable the minimap because people were like, if you are so immersed into the Witcher universe, you have to disable it. And you know what? It was crazy because I spent so many hours in The Witcher 3 that I already knew the place by heart, so I didn't even need the minimap. I already knew all the villages and towns and how to get to them.
Oh, not bad. Nice.
And how was I guess you also played The Witcher 1 and The Witcher 2.
Yeah, we started basically Witcher 1, Witcher 2, Witcher 3. The first one was blind. The second one I played like 2 times before, and the third I played like 3 times before.
Please tell me that you enjoyed The Witcher 1.
Yes, after getting used to the combat system and the graphics, like Witcher 1 Sultan, Witcher 1 Dandelion, I actually liked it very much.
Yeah, The Witcher 1 Zoltan looks kind of like a dwarf that you accidentally threw into your washing machine.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, but moving on from the Witcher games, by the way, amazing games, guys. If you haven't played, you totally should. And I assume there is some sort of sale going on right now, and if not, Black Friday is right around the corner, so check out GOG or Steam, and you should find the Witcher games being sold for pennies. But the next question, and you definitely saw that coming. Feldy, what's the story behind you suddenly going full Falibor mode, growing beard, letting your hair grow long as well? What's going on there?
yeah, like 9 months ago. There was something happening. I don't quite remember what it was. I think something with a virus. And suddenly I didn't have to go to the office anymore. So I was like, now I can finally do all the stuff which I always wanted to try. Long, beautiful hair, dye my hair blue, get a long beard. Can I finally try everything out? And yes, since
I mean,
then,
did you really dye your hair blue?
no,
Not yet.
not yet.
I mean,
Not sure.
it's a valid reason. Like I have to admit, every now and then I'm trying to grow my beard for like a couple of weeks, but it's not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not. I don't have the genes to grow a beard.
Yeah,
Like seriously, what you see on my face right now, which is almost nothing, it's already 2 weeks old.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Oh my.
I rarely have to shave. I'm not going bald, which is a huge advantage. But still, sometimes you would like to have something more on your face than just, pubic hair.
Babyface Weisenberg.
Oh,
Or Asian
always,
Weisenberg.
always. Like when I'm telling people I'm 30, they're like, "No way, man."
Yeah. I mean, I also had this issue. If I shaved my beard, always people were like, what? You're already 32?
Yeah,
Now with the
yeah.
beard, they, okay, makes
Yeah,
sense.
and Hesser too. I remember before the last episode, I was making some calls with one of our guests, with Dorka, because her English wasn't great and she wanted to practice a little bit. And then she was like, "Where is Hesser?" And I was like, "Oh, Hesser is just going out with his wife." And she was like, "Wife? He looks 20. What do you mean, wife?" But Hesser is basically my age,
Yep.
30 years old. And there is some weird trivia connected to our birthdays, but I'm not sure if we should share it right now. We actually recently discovered that, so maybe some other time, maybe some other episode. But moving on, Hesa, you've recently did some casting and some work on Gwent Open. So how do you feel? How is it going?
Well, working on Gwent Open is always a pleasure. Actually, it was great. The last Open was like almost perfect. I think we had like basically no cutting out of the connection, for example, dropping the connection or not working camera. So without any issues, it went perfectly smoothly. And I think that Masters is going to be even better because they are cooking something else than the usual opens. So we can expect some spicy tournament. And yeah, Falcus Rebellion casting that was pretty much fun as well. I was casting that in Polish because I was asked to cast it in Polish, and it was fun. Basically, I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of messy at the beginning, but with the help of my good friend Weisenberg here, we managed to go through that.
I really enjoyed that last matchup between Bane and I don't remember the other guy, but it was so much fun to cast.
Yeah, it was absolutely awesome. So yeah, fun times, and a lot of good stuff going on in Gwen right now.
And can we expect some more casting from you in the near future?
Sure, whenever I get asked, to do that, I'm obviously gonna accept. Absolutely.
Take the opportunity. Show CDPR I'm capable of doing that as well. So guys, if you need a caster, always available.
That's right.
And moving to another Gwen topic, something that a lot of people on Reddit were quite upset about, which is the Salvin, or however you pronounce that, event.
I was wondering as well, yeah.
And the distribution of rewards. Guys, did you grind? Did you get all the rewards?
I didn't really grind. I just played my usual games. I got I think everything except one card back. But to be honest, I was fine with it. It's an easy way to distribute the cosmetic, and in the end, it was free. It was an event we didn't really expect to happen, so it was just bonus. I gladly take it.
It's actually funny that you said, we didn't expect it. I remember seeing some posts on Reddit. People like, oh my god, I had no idea. And imagine that we knew for quite some time, me and Hesser, and I think that for Hesser it was also quite difficult to keep it quiet, to not tell anyone.
Yeah.
Like we discussed it internally a couple of times, but other than
Yeah.
that, you are not allowed to say either on your own to say anything about that on your own stream or in other people's streams. So it was quite interesting to see the people's reaction. Like we of course didn't know the details, but we knew that the event is happening.
Yeah, especially that we've been waiting for such an event for such a long time. It was one of the events from the beta, same like the Mahakam Festival, right? Maybe this is gonna be we will see like Mahakam Festival 2.0 at some point as well. It would be awesome. But yeah, this time was pretty enjoyable. It was better than the Christmas event, for instance, because the cardbacks were easier to grind. It wasn't actually a grind, right? They dropped like pretty quickly for a lot of people.
Yeah, it took me 10 wins, so around 13, 14 matches to get it.
Yeah, it's reasonable.
Yeah, within a couple of days, I got them all.
Yeah, and the most important thing was also, I think, that they removed the daily limitations. Like in the winter event, you could only get like 5 envelopes a day maximum.
Yes,
and
that's right.
this time you could get it everything in one day. That was amazing.
And it was always nice when you queued into some deck and I was playing imposter and people were like, oh, just seeing imposter. Okay, I'm not gonna play against that. So auto forfeit, easy reward. I think that's how Novigrad players get most of their wins these days. People just don't want to play against Lockdown or Imposter.
Yeah, Lockdown would have been the better choice there, but
yeah, more efficient.
Imposter is also fine, yeah.
And speaking of Gwen decks and efficiency, I think it's safe to move to the next segment of our podcast, which is what's happening in Gwent. And oh boy, there's a lot of things happening. But before we start talking about that, let's say a few words about things that are not happening. And one of them is no balance patch. How do you guys feel about that?
For me, obviously a little bit disappointing, but to be honest, I guess they have a lot on their plate right now with upcoming Journey, Halloween events, Masters, new expansion. And this season, to be honest, it doesn't really count for anything. So
Yeah.
if there's a season where they can do nothing with balance changes, then this is the season. And they also want to do some shake-up in the middle of the month, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, plus, implementing any balance changes a month before the World Masters, I'm just not sure if that's a good idea.
It depends. If it's just some minor tweaking, like some cards, should be fine. It won't change the meta like completely, but still change a few cards in the net decks. That would be already fine enough, I think.
But do you guys intend to keep playing, or are you taking a month off? Because I've heard both opinions. Some people are saying, oh yeah, there's a lot of other things to do, so I'm definitely gonna keep playing. While others are more like, well, there's nothing for me to achieve this month, so I'm just gonna focus on other things.
Well, I think I'm gonna just keep playing casually, with focusing on draft because it's just more fun. I've seen that meta for long enough, so I'm just thinking about going for full casual mode, and just grinding that journey, which is easier to grind right now, but we're gonna talk about that later on. And yeah, I think it's it makes sense because they mentioned that they want to run Masters finale with the stable and refined meta, and it is like that right now. So it only makes sense competitive wise. But for most of the players, I think it's gonna be a break time. What do you think, Feldy?
Yeah, for me it's basically the same one. I wanna keep playing. I wanna play the draft mode. I'm absolutely in love with it so far. So
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna play that the whole month. I'm not sure if I'm gonna touch any ranked. Let's see if it gets boring after a while. Maybe. But so far I'm I'm so happy to have this finally in the game, like a proper drafting mode.
Yeah, I
Oh,
only
yeah.
play one ranked game to get the rewards at the end of the season. To get the RPs. And then I played seasonal for a couple of days. That is before people actually figured out how to play it. So the net decking has already taken over that mode as well, and now it's all draft. Enjoying it a lot, but we're gonna talk about that a little bit later in the episode.
Yeah, and talking about the overall balance right now, I mentioned that they wanted to make a break to make sure that finale is happening with the stable meta, because if they change something like this month, there would be obviously some changes in the decks and in the lineups, and they wanted to give players more time to make it more fair for them, obviously. But do you share my opinion as well about the overall balance of Gwent being really good right now? What's your take on that?
Yeah, let's
I
start
would
with
also.
Feldy.
Okay, yeah, I would also kind of agree. We have, I think, playable decks in almost every faction. There is one faction which is a little bit, but let's not talk about that faction. But the other faction are looking pretty good. I think there's no top tier deck which the whole meta warps around. And yeah, most of them are playable, so it's a pretty good meta.
Yeah, I would actually like to expand on that because preparing this episode, I decided to venture into the realms of Reddit and see what people are saying about the meta and the overall state of the game. And quite a few people say or believe that we are at a point where there are 3 or 4 decks, and that's it. That's the only things you're gonna see on the ladder or in any other constructed mode, and that's not really what I'm seeing. That's not really what I'm playing against. That's not really what I'm seeing when I have a look at the meta snapshots or watching other streams. To be honest, it's completely unheard of. But other than Novigrad, the faction that Euerfeldi already mentioned is underperforming right now. All the other factions have at least 2 viable and competitive decks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like if you look at, for example, let's start with an R. You have Shield Wall, with the dueling mechanics, plus you have mobilization revenants, monsters, and this is extremely interesting because 3-4 weeks ago people were saying monsters are in a really bad spot and people are not gonna play the faction, and now we have overwhelming hunger. A couple of versions of the deck. You have just regular Death Wish. You have Death Wish with the scenario. You have Carapace Kelly as well. Syndicate is still out there with Hidden Cache and Congregate. Skoya, Nature's Gift, Precision Strike, 2 viable decks. And obviously Skellige. There's a lot of Skellige on the ladder, and you'll see warriors with at least a couple of different leaders. You will see Lippy, you will see some sort of alchemy druid deck with Gedinith. So yeah, plenty of Skellige decks as well. So that's the kind of variety you always want in a game like Gwent.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't see that actually often when you look at the other card games too. So I think it's pretty alright. Like 2 archetypes, maybe 3 archetypes would be amazing, right? But 2 archetypes is already great. So yeah, I feel personally really good about the meta right now, and I know that the pros, for example, do as well. Like I talked a bit with one guy D last time before the open number 4, and he mentioned the same thing, right? Just said that it wasn't like that before, so he was happy with that, and he was having some troubles with creating a successful lineup and to come up with all the possible matchups. And so yeah, I think that shows it. That shows it as well.
Yeah, but there's one thing that's still kind of prevalent, and that's the red coin abuse. Oh, that's something that's happening quite a lot lately. Plus, some points of criticism from other content creators as well. When being the draw your golds card game. Do you guys agree with these statements? Red coin abuse and draw your golds.
Yeah, with the red coin abuse, I would definitely agree. There is some decks have such an easy time winning if they are on red coin, like Scoia'tael carryover. Oh yeah, let's play that Circle of Life, then play that all got yes, all that carryover. Then you go into round 3 and just smash everything. Draw your goals. Also, to some extent, gets better in nowadays. We have more cards for consistency, like on Neuromancy. The Tudor cards got buffed, like I think also Thunder got provision buff. And also the Sinning cards, the Sinning bronzes like Wild Hunt Riders also got buffed, which always is nice to make everything a little bit more consistent, so less RNG and less draw your goals. But you can still have the same problem if you don't draw your Neuromancy the whole game, then you still
or
are
if you are
very
playing
safe.
a devotion deck.
Yeah, then especially. Then it's mostly draw your goals, especially in Northern Realms.
Yeah, and especially if you count on those goals winning you the game. For example, you're playing. I mean, it's a very unlikely scenario not to draw Anseis or Seltkirk if you're playing Shield Wall. But if it happens, you are basically screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's your experience in that department, Hesser?
Well, I can say for from my experience, it happens a lot. The top deck situation can get really annoying, especially if you want to play some funnier decks. I don't know, let's say that some mushrooms, Getty, SK, for instance, getting that scenario is pretty much crucial for you. If you don't get it, then yeah, that's basically a GG for you. Same goes for the Drago Turtle. You really need them to, to the final to complete the final combo. So yeah, pretty much it. Even with all the consistency added with the Neuromancy, there is still a problem with the top deck and drawing and thinning. So I don't know. Obviously, you're not gonna get it like 100%, right? The decks can't be like 100% consistent. I just don't feel it's gonna happen at any point because this is still a card game, right? There should be some sort of a drawing RNG involved in that, I think.
Oh yeah,
But
absolutely, yeah.
yeah, so well, I know that the top players also say like the aforementioned Wang ID also said that the top deck is a really bad situation, and Demarcation also mentioned that last time after the tournament because he got really screwed by drawing during the tournament. So yeah, he was not happy about that.
I can imagine, especially if there are so many people watching. If it just happened, in a casual game or either on the ladder, you can get over it. But in a tournament setting, that when there is money at stake, when there's a lot of people watching, I feel like it must be really, really tilting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think in ladder it's fine because if you just play enough games, it balances out your luck basically. But in a tournament game, it's just you have this one opportunity, and if you miss it, then well, tough luck.
Yeah. Exactly.
But enough of merchants of negativity.
Yeah. Let's move to a more pleasant topic here. So how did you like the series journey, guys? And how far did you get? It was a really long journey. We had a lot of levels, a lot of vanities, a lot of good cosmetics. It was amazingly well prepared, I think, and it was a bit difficult to get to the last level and get all of the cosmetics. But if you like played a lot, if you were a streamer, for example, then it was probably easier than for the regular bread eaters. But what was that in your case, guys?
Yeah, let's start with Feldy, with our guest. How far did you get, Feldy?
Good question. I think level 130, something around that. I think I got like the Rohin, the yellow one, but not the red one.
All
But
right.
to be honest, I was fine with it. I was not really interested in all this anime skins.
Yeah.
So I'm usually like, if I have the basic skin, I'm happy. I don't need much more. I don't need this shiny glamour and I don't know, rainbows, everything around the character. I just need the normal standard skin and then I'm fine. So I was quite happy how it turns out.
Yeah, personally, I got to level 120 without fast travel. So still quite happy. I kind of front loaded most of my progress during the summer when I still had a little bit more time on my hands. And yeah, I just like Feldy, I didn't feel anything for the whip stuff. So there was a couple of cosmetics I really wanted to get. Like obviously I wanted to get the Novigradian armor, the Novigradian sword, and I wanted to get the sun rays because the great sun shining on the Empress, totally my kink. So yeah, I got all these vanities, and for the rest, I was just playing for fun. It was, and for the RPs that you can convert into kegs. So overall, I liked the journey, but yeah, I agree with the statement that it was fairly long. It felt more like setting off to Mordor than going on a pleasant journey.
Yeah.
It was quite long, and the last stretch was not exactly what you imagine it would be. But overall, I like journeys. I like the concept. I like that you can get a lot of RPs, and we have to be very open about that. The first journey, there was a lot of questions about is it actually more profitable than the previous systems that we had in place, and now they gave us even more stuff, so and more RPs and more rewards. So it's almost a sin not to buy the extended version, I think.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's like for us people living in Europe or in North America, $10 is not that much, and you get a lot of cool stuff in exchange.
Yeah. It can be a bit overwhelming maybe with all the cosmetics that we have right now, because I'm just I'm looking at all of that and I think, okay, I love Shup, I love Ciri, I love Geralt. I don't know which one to choose, right? So many cosmetics, so many boards, and it's really hard.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like what I think they should do, and we talk about that quite a few times on this podcast. Give us the options to create our own boards. Like a base set, and then all kinds of vanities, chests, weapons. The type of ground, grass. I don't know. Just a little bit of SimCity or whatever for us to play around with, and then maybe give us the option to equip certain items on multiple skins as well, not only Ciri specifically or Geralt specifically, but also other characters that you can feel like, okay, I got these rewards and I have enough room to play around with and do something with these rewards.
Yeah, true. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I really want my Kitsune Shup skin.
Shup Whip B. Shup best waifu.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there is the I think that was rule 34, if I'm not mistaken. So if there is market for it, you'll find certain materials online. I'm pretty sure of that.
Good. I don't want to look.
But I also understand the sentiment and people saying 175 levels, that's a little bit too much, because officially the journey was only 100 levels, and some people understood it that way, me included. It's 100. Whatever you get on top is a bonus, so don't complain about the grind. But a lot of people were saying, and I hear their voice and I understand their points. Well, what's the point of saying that the journey is 100 levels if you still get if you still can level up and get vanities for leveling up? Then it's clearly 175. So with that being said, the new journey just started. We're gonna talk about that in detail in just a few more seconds. But what do you think about this decision that CDPR made to actually cap the vanities at level 100 and then throw all the bonuses in form of quests/contracts?
I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's a fair deal, so it satisfies the players who play a lot, and it satisfies the player who just want to get level 100 and then be done with it. And I also like that they don't put a time limit on the contracts you get with level 100, so you can grind this over the next couple of months and don't have to grind it. I have 20 days left. Oh, I have to play Gwent. You can just do it on your own pace. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, I think I wonder how it looks like from, financial point of view, for instance, if it made more people buy the journey before, or if it's a better idea financially or, marketing wise to keep that cap at level 100. I think it's kind of easier and better for people to keep it at 100, as people mentioned in chat as well. It felt really like a difficult grind, and you had to play like 2-3 hours every day to make it to the last level in most cases. And this is something you sometimes you don't want to do, and you're not able to do, right? Because you have some other um entertainment viable options, right? So
Baldur's Gate.
I don't know. Baldur's Gate. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, I remember spamming that in your chat all the time. You just
Yeah,
trying to
Baldur's
get
Gate is
those
great.
journey levels, and I was like, dude, BG when?
BG, dude. Yeah, BG was great.
Yeah, though I still feel kind of bad for Baldur's Gate 3 not being isometric. I think I've recently bought PoE.
Oh yeah.
Pillars of Eternity, so I'll get my first share of isometric RPGs in the near future. But yeah, guys, we touched upon the topic of journey, and before we delve deeper into it, maybe we should show people what it is about and see the trailer once again.
Once, I was saved by a man. He was a rebel, an outcast, a knight. Oh, even a sorcerer, if you can believe it. He had this crazy notion about beasts, how to fight them. I think he called them witchers.
I heard you're a fan of my work. Ardently so.
Alzor has stormed into the world of Gwent. Over the next few months, by simply playing, players will progress through our journey leveling system. Purchase access to the premium tier to immediately unlock Alzor as a legendary neutral leader skin. When leveling up, you'll unlock new styles and customizations for Alzor. Our journey will include over 50 unique, exclusive ornaments to be unlocked as you make your way to level 100. At the start of each week, we'll unveil a new segment of Alzor's and my story, tying into quests to help you progress faster. So sit down, be still, and let me tell you of the greatest sorcerer that ever lived.
That's quite a trailer, I have to say.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
they are good at that.
For sure.
I mean, totally unrelated, but the voice actress, telling you about the journey, top notch. I really enjoyed listening to it. Like, it had like a playful tone, like, oh, the journey, exciting, I want to play. I'm not sure about you guys. It's just a weird remark, I guess.
No, it was amazing. I can tell that, they are getting better and better with that. Definitely.
Yeah, really like the trailer. But otherwise, I can't say much about the details. I didn't listen to her voice that much.
I'm still not sure about the theme. Like, it's not really what we expected. I mean, of course, the moment they started revealing stuff, we kind of knew what it could potentially be, but still, I feel like it's a weird choice in a way. But yeah, we have a question about that, don't we?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So
Before I get
now
ahead of myself.
like Slama actually, said that nobody guessed and nobody is going to guess who the next journey character is going to be. And it's Alzor, right? It's pretty surprising. And I don't know, how did you feel about it, guys? Because I was pretty much surprised. We didn't know a lot about that guy, lore-wise. And I think that people are going to be interested to learn to learn some details about that character, about the origins of the Witchers as well, and about the mages. So, how did you feel, guys? And did you go for the extended version?
Always. Just take my money.
Yeah, that was an easy choice, right?
Oh, yeah,
Getting the
absolutely.
extended, absolutely.
Not for me yet. I
Ooh.
yeah, controversial opinion. I like him as a character lore-wise. I'm really interested to find out more about his lore because we don't know that much about his origins,
Yeah, exactly.
his also double cross, and he did a lot of crazy stuff. I'm really looking forward to see that. But to be honest, the skin, it's very well made, that's for sure. But it's what Heza already said. We have so many skins already and so many cosmetics.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with Siri and Shoop at the moment. I'm not sure if I need an Ulcer skin. It depends probably if how I like the other cosmetics which come with the premium journey, like the Ulcer's card back, the Ulcer's double cross card back, I think it is. Looks pretty sweet. There are a lot of cool things. So at the end, I probably give in to.
I mean, let's be honest here. Let's not beat around the bush. Druid Azur looks like a common peasant. That skin is absolutely atrocious. It's like, a random guy you meet in The Witcher 1 just giving you a quest to kill 10 drowners. But the overall, I wasn't really shocked because they were hinting at that for a very long time. For instance, I remember I Slama stream where he was like, yeah, we would like to do mages, but everyone expects either Yennefer or Triss. And then if you do one of them, somebody's gonna be upset because it's not the other one. The eternal waifu wars going on. But he was hinting that, hey, we would like to do a mage-themed journey. And then we started getting those leaks that, Buja claims were not controlled in any way, but basically a Witcher expansion coming soon, TM. So we kind of knew that, okay, there is something going on within that theme as well. So when they showed, some art during the open, I think everyone knew it was Alzur. Some people, me included, still hoped it was not gonna be Alzur. It was gonna be someone more, prominent.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe Avalak, but then in the end they did go for Alzur, and I really don't know what to expect, lore wise, because there isn't really much. Like in the Witcher novels, you have some references to the Alzur's spells and books, and then there is some further explanation in Season of Storms, I think, and that's about it. But of course, I did get the extended version. I am gonna play. I am gonna get all the rewards. I'm not sure if I'm gonna use them. Just like you guys said, we have so many vanities, and once you get Siri Empress going on, I'm not sure if there is any other option for me.
Well, yeah, what you can do about that? Unfortunately, we still have to fulfill our collectors I don't know, lust and get all the vanities still. But yeah, it's kind of too much. But we're gonna talk about that as
It's
well.
the abundance of wealth right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we have
First
so
world
many
problems.
skins and cosmetics, we don't really know what to do with them anymore.
Yeah,
maybe
maybe a
an idea
randomized
to
button.
donate them, to give us the option to do that.
Ooh.
But then again, not a single company is gonna do that, because obviously, Journey is a huge part of their income as of now. So I can imagine they're not gonna be like, oh well, this guy doesn't want skins. No. We are not gonna give him the option to donate it to someone who didn't pay.
Yeah.
I can't let you pass otherwise. Like, no way. You have to pay. But yeah, we already talked about that a little bit. What's your overall take on the quality of vanities? Because I feel like compared to the early skins, the early leader skins and early boards, we've gone a really long way. And then do you want to see more contracts related to vanities? Because normally you only get maybe a border, but mostly reward points.
Yeah, would be definitely nice for people who play a bit more or like to let's say force people to play in different styles. Like if there are some crazy contracts, like win 10 games with only bronzes, something like that. This is always nice to have something crazy in the game.
Yeah, like
Nothing against
something to strive towards.
Exactly.
Like a huge goal, something important. But yeah, like now that you said it, to win 10 games with bronzes only, woof, that would be challenging. Unless you play Skellige, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm honest. I honestly, think Skellige would still be able to pull it off in the current state of the game. Just play some, great swords, invaders, and whatnot, and you're gonna be fine. I mean, our favorite card, the Uncrate Longship, is gonna just carry the faction to complete the contract.
Yeah, could work out, but at least at lower levels.
Oh yeah. Or in casual.
Yeah, just farm casual. Hope that you queue into some wholesome new player who just started playing Gwen and then let me show you my Skellige army.
Yeah. I just instantly reminded that old Dandelion taunt. What was it? He's like watch master in action, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, we miss Dandelion as a skin. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna happen at some point.
Oh yeah,
sure.
absolutely. Like I don't think they, they have the balls not to include Dandelion in a future journey.
Yeah.
Observe a master in action.
Oh yeah, observe the master in action. That's it.
Oh yeah, I'm still waiting for so many voice tones from the beta, like Reaches and Triss. Reaches. You've my utmost gratitude. I loved it.
I really like Letho. Letho was great, because because the tones were also always very short. It was like, thanks. That's it.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff. Yeah, moving on, guys. Moving on.
Yeah, so basically, some say that CDPR spends like too much time on Journey's cosmetics, including us a bit. But yeah, let's make a conclusion here. Is that the right statement? Is really CDPR spending too much time on Journey's cosmetics instead of balance, or is it an overstatement? What do you say, guys?
I would say
let's throw Feldy under the bus.
I would say it's an overstatement. Sure, balancing is nice, but the thing that keeps Gwent alive is not the balancing, but the money. And you need to sell some stuff for that, so I rather keep Gwent alive and in a little bit more unbalanced state than the other way around. Having a perfectly balanced game and it's dead.
Yeah, I think that the director of Live Ops, Vlad Torsov, actually replied to the thread claiming that it's a shame that CDPR spends so much time and resources on journeys rather than balance. And he said something like, we actually have separate teams doing both. So there is a separate group of employees doing balance and a separate group of employees doing journeys and vanities, and they rarely overlap. So I think that if we are to believe his words, these issues are not really connected. Though I can definitely see how it appears that way because CDPR say, okay, there's not gonna be a balance patch this month, but here, have a new journey. So I guess for a lot of people it was an obvious conclusion to draw, even though it's a hastily one, I would say.
Yeah. Well, I think that We are actually pretty lucky that we have still Gwent going on, because I can imagine that, at some point it was a really tough decision for the management of CDPR to either, keep that project going or close it at all. Because, there were a lot of changes, a lot of, rethinking this idea and the project, changing the directors of the game. So I can imagine that it was really tough for them. So, with that abundance of cosmetics and journey, we can be pretty sure that Gwen just keeps living and staying with us for a longer time. So I think it's a fair exchange,
Yeah, exactly. That's what I wanted to mention. If you look at the period of time between midwinter and early homecoming-ish, we've had
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 game directors.
Yeah.
So before Slama landed the gig, nobody really knew what direction Gwent was heading. And I don't feel like I have the right to quote any CDPR employees on the matter here, but like from what I know, I can tell you that they were not happy either. And I guess I assume that the odds of Gwen being discontinued at some point were definitely discussed among the team. So I'm really happy that the game is still there. We are getting new expansions, we are getting journeys, we are getting new stuff. Balance changes, new leaders, you name it, we get it. And I just said something about expansions. I know that a lot of people got complaining about only 2 expansions this year, because we already know the expansion is coming. And considering what we know, considering the quote unquote totally uncontrolled leaks and this journey, it seems to me like it's a proper introduction to the upcoming expansion. Alzur, and we've seen some witchery stuff being leaked by some people. Do you think these things are connected, or is just completely unrelated and the Witcher expansion is totally not happening?
I mean, it definitely has to be connected.
Yeah.
We saw the card art with Snowdrop, the girl, which is together with Alza. We saw Alza from behind. We saw the castle, I don't remember the name, but where some
Alzur
witches
from
were created, I
behind.
think.
Kappa Pride.
Yeah, hands up. Yeah, we saw also the castle where the witches were created, I think, or some witches were created. So it definitely has to be like also mage witcher origin story.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's what everyone thinks. I mean, of course, I still think that CPR has the power to surprise us after all. But the castle they leaked, it totally looks like Stiga, and that used to be the Witcher's Keep. Where the School of the Cat originated. And we've seen some card previews. We've seen some card art. So it clearly seems like Witchers, and I like what it seems to be, that every faction will have a Witcher skull attached to it, other than Syndicate. I think Syndicate is gonna be Salamandra mutants kind of thing, I guess. Somebody leaked Black Ryla coming to Gwent.
Oh yeah, there were a lot of like pretty good value leaks, I think, dropped on Reddit some time ago.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we can show that to people as well.
No,
if we want to show it.
We don't have it handy, because during episode 20 or 21 with Pavel, he said, don't just spread misinformation.
Yeah.
He wasn't able to comment on that, so I think we shouldn't really show things that are not confirmed yet. But yeah, if you look at the card previews, because that's mostly what we've seen so far. As I said, we've seen Stiga, we've seen Gaetan, the Witcher from the Scout School in The Witcher 3, in Mid-Cops, I think, in Velen. So yeah, plenty of characters like that. And one thing that really interests me is there is some mutagens coming, apparently. Oh my god, my neighbors are drilling. Can you hear that?
Oh yeah,
Classic.
Classic.
good timing.
Oh man, great
Oh, man.
timing.
Did you move to Poland? Holy shit.
Nah. I actually have neighbors who are from South America and the Caribbean. The guy is from Dominican Republic and his wife is from Cuba. Great people, by the way. I enjoyed talking to them. Amazing neighbors. But that drilling, very, very unfortunate. Or maybe it was just Pavel or Jason, trying to prevent us from talking about the expansion.
Yeah. Or that was actually a really long fart.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You have to be quiet about it, as Yennefer explained in Blood of Elves. Yeah, there is actually. I'm rereading the Witcher books right now, and it's really crazy how many references to the books are actually in the Witcher games. Like, I've read the books a long time ago, so now rereading them, I'm seeing a lot of things that I totally didn't see any connection. For example, we are totally going off topic right now. Near Oxenford in The Witcher 3, you have that guy, selling tickets to see the basilisk. And the girl being like, oh, it's a wyvern. It's actually a scene from Time of Contempt. Between Ciri and Fabio.
Yeah.
They go to see a basilisk, which happens to be a wyvern.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a small thing. Totally spoiling The Witcher 3 for Feldy here.
I played it before, but I didn't know about that.
Yeah, it's just things you normally don't remember about, and then the moment you reread the books, you see how much more was borrowed. Or I recently figured out that the lines. Oh come on, man! Just stop.
What?
Oh shit! I'm sorry, guys.
No technical issues this time, but
Yeah.
naughty neighbors.
There is always something, right? Either I forget to unmute the microphone or add something to the podcast, and now this happens. I was lost in thought. What I was talking about?
About the additions, in the games.
Oh yeah,
like,
that
taken from the lore.
the Kerak City Guard, her lines are actually come straight from the books.
Oh yes.
They are directly borrowed from the books. I mean, from one book, the Season of Storms. So yeah, the expansion coming next month, apparently, right? I mean, is it actually confirmed that it's coming right after the Masters, or is it something we just assumed?
It's an assumption, I think.
Yeah. But it would be crazy before the Masters.
I mean, it's
Nobody
not
can
happened
be that
before
stupid.
the Masters. Just imagine, you are in the top 8. You are going to Masters, and CDP are like, new expansion the same day. Boom.
I mean, that would be quite an amazing tournament.
That would be an
Oh, man.
amazing element of surprise. Just imagine, you have to submit your decks, and you're like, what? Though I think they have to submit their deck lists at least a few days before the tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually Monday before the tournament.
Yeah. Just imagine they dropping the ball like that. Monday 10 a.m. Boom, new expansion. Oh, now they're hammering. Now they're hammering.
Please stunt training.
Oh man.
I'm sorry, guys. I can't do anything about that. It's just it's a fact of life. The more we talk about the expansion, the more hammering and drilling there is. Slama,
It's
is that
definitely
you?
Buja. It's definitely Slama.
Yeah,
and
like,
Buja.
it's about Buja. Totally doesn't have COVID. He just traveled to Holland to, prevent us from talking about the expansion.
Yeah.
But moving on, we already talked about the predictions and the expectations. We all think it's gonna be Witcher themed. We've seen some cards, controlled, uncontrolled leaks, official, unofficial leaks. Next question.
Right, let's move to the league season, right? Because it should be happening at some point right now. I wonder how they're going to organize it this time, because we've seen a lot of different marketing strategies up till now, and I'm really hoping for the community reveals, just like the last time. And well, I'm not sure if we can mention this yet about
we
our
will
little
soon.
secret.
We will soon mention
All right,
things.
all right. So we are not mentioning any things right now, but
I
we can just
mean
hope
soon
that.
in like 5 minutes, more
All
or
right,
less.
all right. Yeah, so guys, stay with us. We're gonna mention some good stuff here, and I'm really hoping for that. So there are Gwent partners for some reason. So I'm hoping that we're getting some cards and some reveals this time as well. And it should be starting fairly soon, right? We are sitting at the 7th November the 7th, and we have like
30 days.
presumably 1 month, right, from the new expansion. So
Yeah, that's an educated guess.
I think so.
I would start by asking Euerfeldi, have you ever revealed a card?
No reveal virgin. I would love to reveal one day, but let's see. It's always limited amount of cards, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it really depends on what, as Hess already said, we've seen various, marketing strategies being deployed in the past. So
yeah.
it really depends on what they're intending to do this time around, because we've seen expansions where almost every single card was revealed by content creators, and that means 70-80 cards going to the partners, so a lot of community reveals. But we've also seen Master Mirror, where it was distributed some other way. I think the net number of cards that went to individual creators was 20 something cards, because they revealed a lot of cards during the open, right? Then there was a number of cards that went obviously to faction ambassadors, tournament casters. Like, you obviously expect them to have a card every expansion. It's not something to be mad about. It's just how it should be. And then Ryan, even on this show, explained to us that a huge chunk of cards is going to community projects, official team, unofficial Gwen teams like Artusa, I guess, and everything they're doing as well. So yeah, the number of cards that's left for individual creators is, I mean, at least during the last expansion was fairly low. I'm not sure how they're gonna go about that this time around. What do you guys expect? Do you expect a full blown community reveal season, or is it gonna be more like the last time?
I would hope for more community reveals. I think it's a very nice thing to give the community and the Gwent partners. So, not being selfish at all, but it would be cool to have more
Not
of
implying
them.
anything at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually saw on the Gwent partners Discord somebody asking, guys, so reveal season, when is it starting? Like, people are already ready. People are already waiting.
Yeah.
But I guess you guys are gonna apply for a review, like, because that's how it's done, right? You have to apply. They don't just approach you and be like, okay, you're getting card. You have to apply. So do you guys intend to apply this time around? I think Feldy is, because he already said he wants to review a card. What about you, Hesser? Because you are not streaming on a regular basis anymore. At least I don't think you are.
Yeah, not really. It's like semi-regular, but yeah, still, I would love to, reveal a card. Maybe, even through some sort of a video, like a YouTube video, something like that. I was thinking about actually reviving my YouTube channel, mainly because that I'm not streaming regularly right now. But I could, for instance, drop a video or two from time to time. So yeah, that would be a cool one.
And I think the 5 minutes I mentioned have already passed, or close to passed. So speaking of leaks, we don't have anything to show right now. Sorry, guys. But what I can tell you is, episode 24, which is happening in exactly 2 weeks, we are gonna have a CD Projekt Red employee on the show. It's someone you've seen during the open, and it's someone who hasn't been on the show before. And said person said, quote unquote, that the leak master himself has prepared a juicy leak for us. for this special occasion. Normally we don't leak about the leaks, but what do you guys expect it to be? Because it sounds like it's more than a card.
Oh man, I was hoping for some sort of a new mechanic, for instance, like something completely new. Just like we had, well, the evolving cards were actually cards, but that was a new mechanic in a way. So maybe we're gonna see something like that. On that leak. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I wanted to say, considering the things we've got in the past, they have to keep them at a certain level, I would say. No pressure, Jason or Pavel. But, after giving us 6 new leaders to review and the draft mode and, evolving cards, it just can't be, a small card anymore. Come on, guys. I mean, I'm gonna be happy with anything, really. Even if it's just a 4 provision neutral nobody's gonna play. It's still a leak, and it's still, an honor to and a privilege to be considered among the group of people who can.
Bouja again.
Pavel, please stop.
Pavel, come on, man.
Come on. Really, I just want to talk about the expansion.
Yeah,
can I?
Let us work.
It's gonna be so fun to listen to for people checking the podcast on Spotify and other platforms.
Yeah. You need to include that into the description,
Yeah, beware
heavy drilling.
Yeah, beware of
Euerfeldi.
be wary of Bouja farting.
Not safe for work, right?
Not safe for work, exactly.
Oh,
I mean, looking at Alzur from behind, that was totally not safe for work, or Rule 34 regarding Shoop, I guess it was. So
yeah.
This podcast has its own rules, I would say. But okay, guys, enough about the expansion because we don't know anything. We only know it's likely gonna be Witcher themed. We know we as the podcast are getting something to show in 2 weeks. We assume the review campaign is going to start soon because, if in 2 weeks we are supposed to show something, then I guess that other people, faction ambassadors, stuff like that, are gonna show some leaks earlier than that. But there is one more thing we have to talk about, and that's obviously the draft mode. But before we talk about our experience and how do we like it, I think that we should listen to Pavel explain the mode once again.
Step in through the portal if you dare to accept Master Mirror's challenge and fight in his realm. Introducing Draft Mode, a fresh way to experience Gwent. First of all, there is no entry fee to play Draft Mode. You can jump right in and experience the new format. Now let's test it out. Enter the portal. You start off by picking your leader ability. Pick your core card. These cards can't be drafted later and will affect the options for your subsequent draft picks, so choose carefully. Pick one of the 3 card packages. As you can see, you have a couple interesting options here. You will be able to pick 3 card packages 8 times before ending the draft by choosing a stratagem. Once your deck is ready, give it a try. See you on the battlefield, my friends.
See you, Pavel.
Yeah, see you, Pavel, and good luck battling COVID. Yeah, it was sad news, but I still like that he converted that into a joke.
Yeah.
Mom always told me to score good on exams, except not this one. But yeah, draft mode, guys. So Arena is no more. First impressions, I would say.
I'm super happy how it turned out. This is basically the thing I was expecting Arena to be. So I'm happy that we actually get this now. Like, you draft some actually synergy cards and not just point slam. Obviously, there are still some things to improve upon. Some packages are too strong, some leader abilities are a little bit too strong, but the general direction of it is just right.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think like the first impression was pretty positive, and I'm happy that they improved what they showed us and what we leaked at the very beginning with Pavo. And it feels like pretty much like in Runeterra, for instance, where I think that this is one of the most refined draft modes ever. And if they go this direction, this is going to be definitely great. And finally, we can equip all the vanities, right?
Oh,
We
yeah.
can use them in any way possible, almost. And there's more synergy. There is actually building a deck with an idea, right? You're actually finding your main card and you're building around it, and you have more chances to actually get into that. So I'm pretty happy with that, and definitely this is a great thing to have for the month between the seasons.
I just realized I actually stole your question.
It's all right.
But yeah, overall, my draft experience has been amazing. As I said before the podcast, I'm really happy that early on they gave us the ability to just play the mode without any kind of entrance fee, so that we can experiment. We can see what the mode is about. We can explore all the possibilities. And honestly, some of these combinations are absolutely sick. So let's talk about that for a moment, guys. The craziest combos that you've pulled off in draft so far.
So from what I've seen, I've actually not played that many myself, but I've seen 3 very interesting drafts. The first one was Pireball. He drafted 10 Passiflora Peaches, 4 Flying Redanians into a hidden cache deck.
Holy
You can
shit.
imagine how it turned out.
Oh man.
He played one round 3 where he basically played Peaches the whole game, nothing else. Then there was also one draft with Savage Bear and Stockpile.
My
Basically,
God.
he had like, I think it was also Pireball. He had 5 Savage Bears, so they get already charges if other Savage Bears are in the graveyard. And then he had like Priscilla, Dandelion, all those funny things, and everything was bleeding on the opponent's board. That was also quite hilarious. Yeah, Stockpile is pretty funny. And the last one is also a Stockpile deck, I think with Hefty Helge. I saw some screenshots, like 4 Hefty Helges on the board, the rest of the hands just tactics. So every time you get like 5, 10 damage on top of everything. Yeah, absolutely crazy combos you can do there. I love it.
Yeah, in addition to that, I would also like to add the hyper thinning, and like a couple of, I don't know, a couple of knickers and a couple of like any other cards that jump out of your deck, and it can get really fun. I have seen like people having like 9 cards like that, and and that's pretty crazy too.
Yeah, they're actually having voices. People saying we should limit the number of combos like that to 3 cards tops. That's what some people have been saying, that the thinning aspect of draft is a little bit too crazy right now.
It is, yeah, it is definitely.
But I enjoy it. But the craziest thing I've seen in draft is people actually building proper meta decks in draft. I have no idea what the odds are, but yesterday I was playing against Congregate with Disarray and the Quartermaster and Procession of Penance and all that stuff, and I was like, how did you get all of those cards?
Jeez.
Like, the guy played a single non-syndicate card the whole match. He was just playing a meta deck in draft, and I was like, wow. That's really unique.
Yeah, that's pretty nasty.
I think for Syndicate, it's actually not that tough to build a meta deck. Yeah, like if you choose a Syndicate leader ability, you already get like a lot of coin Syndicate related packages offered. And then you just have to go, okay, I'm Swarm, so let's pick Fallen Knight, let's pick all the Fire Swarm packages I get offered, and then you basically almost end up with a meta deck.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah. But sometimes these combos are really nice. I love playing imposter versus imposter in draft. Like especially round 3, it's just like that Spider-Man meme, aiming at each other.
Yeah.
Like my strategy is basically to discard. Like if you are going second, just discard your cards. Like they will have to play something at some point for you to imposter. Just if you have the last say, easy. Just wait till the last card, you imposter it and play your last card to win. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with my current draft deck, which is a Glaze. Oh man, it's just as I told you guys before the podcast, double Frexenet, triple or quadruple Circle of Life. I got the Protector to revive Circle of Life. I got Gift of Nature, to do some thinning. And it's combined with the Shield Wall and some Hammer Dryads, and I got some Icers for thinning. It's not a great deck, but it's just so much fun to play. I love decks when you have some sort of end game goal to achieve. And thick a Glaze is always nice to play.
Was she like the core card you got at the beginning?
Yeah, she was one of the core cards.
All right, makes sense. Nice.
A lot of hand buff. I didn't get all gold or stuff like that, but all the other cards are just really cool. Except when I'm playing against like triple Visigoda, it's kind of problematic because I don't have enough control tools to deal with that. But that's still pretty cool. But yeah, moving on to the next question, guys. Are you actually happy with Arena being gone, or do you think we should have both modes at the same time?
I'm fine with it. Arena always felt like the forgotten stepchild. Nobody really cared about anymore because it was just this point slam fiesta. You picked a high provision card with 8-9 power, damage by 4, and that's it. No synergies. Nah.
So
I'm happy with it.
You're saying that Arena is the forgotten stepchild. So what is draft then? Your stepsister is stuck in a washing machine?
Oh god. No, not this direction again, please.
I mean, this stream is 18 plus, so
Yeah.
Villa, if you're watching, close your ears.
Close your ears.
You haven't heard that.
Yeah.
Anything else want to say about the draft or Arena about the recent changes, other than the visuals being kind of paint quality so far? I mean, the board is great. The board is amazing. Don't get me wrong, but like the whole draft selection screen kind of looks like paint still.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. But you know what? I was like super sad about no ranked possibilities in drafts, and this is what Buja mentioned during our podcast right last time. Like I think that having like any type of ladder with the draft would make sense, because that would make some streamers maybe stick to the draft. That would make people do some content with that. I know there's going to be like some meme content from the draft right now, but making it more competitive would make sense for sure. Just like let's say Hearthstone, for example, right? They don't have like a proper ranking for that, right? But there you can go to the website and see who's got the biggest amount of wins, for instance, like perfect runs. So that would make sense.
Yeah, they could also implement something like that for the seasonal mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you said about content creators focusing on draft mode. Any of you guys know whether or not the Bibo has been streaming draft? Because he used to be the Arena ambassador, then he moved to other things. Is he playing draft? Do we know something about that? Or is he just still doing just chatting and traveling across Japan, showing us the country and the cities?
I think he's still doing the IRL streams right now.
But those are great IRL streams. They are not, your typical IRL streams.
Oh yeah.
As I said, multiple times, whenever you go to the just chatting category, it's something else. Like the amount of weird people and people who just pretend to stream and show their attributes, crazy things, man. Don't go there, kids. Don't go to Just Chatting.
Don't go. Vila, don't go there.
I've seen a couple of really cool streams like bike couriers, cycling around New York, delivering packages. That was pretty cool. That's a good stream.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we can safely move to the next segment, which is competitive Gwent. As you guys know, we are a month away from World Masters, the Season 2 finals. Are we looking forward to the tournament?
No. Just kidding. Obviously, love to see this. Finally, a World Master in action after waiting for a few years and still not having World Master 1, but
Yeah.
at least World Master 2, that's also fine. Sure, it would have loved to see it in person in Warsaw, like on site, but with the current situation, sadly not possible.
Yeah.
But say
with the situation actually not improving in the last couple of weeks, I think it's safe to say there's not gonna be a viewing party.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, Poland probably is going to go into the full lockdown. Maybe if not next week, maybe in 2 weeks. It's all going to depend on the number of cases, but we'll see.
I mean, considering how many people are on the streets right now, I think that the number of cases is gonna skyrocket.
Yeah, with the protests. Yeah, but the protests are calming down actually. So I don't know. We'll see.
But still, I see a lot of meme potential. Season 2 happening before Season 1. The memes are gonna be juicy.
Yeah.
Do we actually know who's playing? We do know who's playing, but do we remember who's playing? Esser, the master of all the links.
I didn't have that one, but I'm gonna get it.
Damn it, Hesser,
ASAP.
you had one job.
Yeah, but I remember them actually. I remember them. We have Demarcation, we have Wang ID, we have Pajabal, Tailbot, and Cams. I remember 3 Polish players. There's going to be Gravish as well, Kalaman, and
Magpie?
And Saber, I think. Saber.
Oh yeah, Saber.
Yeah. There's going to be a great appearance of Saber on the tournament.
Interesting. Yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to watching Payabo playing, because I didn't really know much about him before the last Open, but oh man, that was sick plays. Definitely the community's favorite as of now. Plus, the great story behind his name. Oh man, that's I can see him writing, the new Donald Trump like book, the art of business or whatever that was.
The art
of the deal.
Oh yeah, that's it, Euerfeldi. I mean, the story behind the name was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and that was actually quite unexpected, because I've seen Pajabal playing before in the qualifiers and playing well, and we all know that he's a good player, but what he's shown on that Open, it was actually something else. That was pretty impressive, I gotta say.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen Shin Miri this excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, that moment when he killed his own unit. We were in Discord together and watching it, and everybody was screaming, "Fire! Kill your own unit! Do it!" And then he did, and everybody erupted in cheers.
But is there actually anything you can leak, Hesser? Because you are clearly gonna work on that one as well. Is there something you're gonna tell us right now? I'm totally, putting you on the spot, I know.
Well, what I can say, that actually I mentioned that at the beginning, that they are cooking something else, something different from the original Opens. Even I don't know what is going to happen, so we just need to wait and see, right? But we can expect something else with the format, definitely.
Alrighty, moving on.
Yeah, so we need to bring up some summary, right, of the competitive season 2. We've seen competitive season 1. We're gonna wait a bit more for the finale. It's probably gonna happen next year if the situation turns out to look better in Poland. Definitely, I think that they're gonna invite the players and make it with all the confettis, just like Pavel said last time. So we can expect the finale number 1 next year. But what do you think, guys, about the competitive season number 2 being completely online? Right, I think all the tournaments were online, and I don't know, from my point of view, it ended up pretty successful. I think that with some hiccups at the very beginning, with the first one and with the disconnects, they improved a lot later on, and I think it was a pretty successful season. And I think we're just waiting for that crown of the final number 2, right? What do you think, guys?
Pretty much my own opinion. I'm glad they managed to figure out the small hiccups and got rid of it, because that was really heartbreaking to see, like, 2 losses just due to disconnects.
Yeah.
But yeah, nowadays they managed to reduce the delays from when the games still have to wait like an hour to play. That was quite annoying. And also no random disconnects anymore. Looks pretty good now. So I hope everything goes smoothly in the World Masters then.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome that they're actually, doing all of that in-house right now from their own studio, and without the help of some other outsourcing companies, and it looks pretty all right. I like it. I like Buja being in the studio as well, in the tavern, in the old tavern. Brings up, the old days from season 1. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I wanted to say. When Ryan was on the show, we actually asked about the possibility to have some sort of a limited crew at the studio, and now Panda is there, Buja is there.
Yeah.
Well, the events that followed afterwards were rather unfortunate, with Pavel being being officially declared infected with Corona.
Coronad. Yeah.
Corona S. So yeah, I can only hope that other people who were at the studio at the time didn't catch it. But overall, as Feldy said, the initial hiccups, I'm super glad they got to fix it, and overall the opens have been really enjoyable. And what I realized is that all the castles and shit, as we talk about, when Pavel was here, it's not really important. It's the atmosphere, it's the great play, it's the commentary provided by amazing content creators. It's the whole thing, not only where the tournament is taking place. It can take place online and still be a great event.
I mean, it's still pretty important, but it's pretty awesome, right?
I mean,
we can't do
you're
anything
not
about
seeing the cast when the players are going at each other.
Yeah.
I would still love to see it. It was
I still
quite
want my
amazing.
castle.
Yeah, it was so cool.
Come on, man. Where's my castle?
Oh. But I can imagine that it's not quite. You can't do it during Corona, and it's probably also not very cheap to do something like that. So,
Yeah.
not sure if you're gonna see that in the future, or if we just go back to the tavern if Corona is over.
Yeah, I think it has a significant impact on how we see things. Like you said, going to a tavern and you instantly think about Corona. And it's crazy how sometimes you're watching a series or a movie from a couple of years ago, and people are shaking hands and hugging and touching each other, and you're like, oh my god, what are they doing?
Oh yeah.
And it's crazy how it's no longer weird for us, for let's say people from the West, to see people wearing masks.
Yeah.
It was always like, oh, the Japanese people are crazy for doing that. And now look at us.
Yeah. That's a revenge for all these memes and all that laughing.
Yeah, I guess so. Do we have more questions about competitive Gwent, guys?
Yeah, that's right. We also have a question about the community tournaments, right? Because apart from from the competitive season 2 being moved to online, to the internet. We also have the community tournaments, and that field is actually booming. We have a lot of events going on, and we had a lot of events. We had Falcus Rebellion, Duel of Dogs. We had a lot of different tournaments before that as well, with TLGs, for example. I think the TLGs tournament was one of the most successful and the biggest tournaments this season as well, and it's really well done. But same goes for Falcus Rebellion and Duel of Dogs. Pretty cool tournaments, and we can only hope that with the tournament platform, we can see more of those happening. Right. So what's your take, guys, on the community tournaments? What do you think about those? How should they be maybe improved? Feldy, what do you think about that?
Obviously, I'm pretty happy that we still have a thriving community after so many years,
Yeah.
which still organizes stuff like that just because they love the game. Also like to play in them if I have the time. Yeah, what to be improved? I would say the biggest improvement for that would be to improve the tournament mode on the website that becomes
Yeah.
more stable. Wild Hunt tournament. Yeah, that would probably help the most. Maybe, I mean, I think CDPR already gives like rewards out for those custom tournaments. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. If the tournament client gets more stable, I think we're good to go.
Yeah, it's also cool that Vlad mentioned last time after the Open that they are not gonna add some Crone points to those community tournaments, not to confuse the competitive players, right, and to make it possible to get some actually competitive points from those community tournaments. So yeah, I think that's a good direction they're heading. What do you think, Matt?
Overall, I'm as I said, as Feldy said, I'm super happy with the fact that we still have a thriving and well organized community to actually put these tournaments together. I haven't seen much of Duel of Dogs. I've only seen some shirtless action on various streams, and that was pretty confusing. As far as Falca's Rebellion goes, the event was massive, and
Yeah.
considering all the tech problems and the fact that it was basically organized by one person, I think there was so many things that could have gone wrong, and some of them did. But you can't deny the ambition, like to pull something like that off. That's just huge. 8 events that culminate in a grand finale. You have to have the smarts to even think about something like this.
Oh yeah.
But I wanna pick up on something Felby said. Wild Hunt, guys, what's happening with Wild Hunt? Because they announced going online and then went quiet.
Do we know anything about it? I don't think so.
No, me neither. I haven't talked to Flake in a bit, and I'm not sure if Flake is still involved in Wild Hunt.
Feldy, do you know something about that?
No, I haven't heard anything after the tournament got delayed, postponed, whatever.
Yeah, but I still remember when Flake was on the show and he was telling us about all the crazy things they had planned for Wild Hunt 3. The grand finale at the mansion in Florida. Oh, crazy stuff. It's just such a shame it never happened.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it will happen at some point. You never know.
Yeah, it would be great. Yeah, the last one I can see here is like from August, like judging from their Twitter. So yeah, nothing is going on. We would have
Staying
to ask.
on top of the Link game.
Yep.
But yeah, I think that's it when it comes to the competitive scene, because the last tournament was a couple of weeks ago. Masters, as you guys can see on the screen, taking place on December the 5th and the 6th. The format is known, but the setting is gonna be slightly different, as Hesser already implied. I don't hear any drilling, so I think it's a safe leak. But with that being said, let's move to the last segment of this show, which is personal Q&A. And we want to talk about something that Feldy has been widely known for, which is the Gwent trivia. How did you get this idea?
Was quite, I think, 3 years ago now, almost. It was just when Twitch introduced the possibility to gift subs, and it was right around Christmas. So I thought, like, oh yeah, that's a cool thing to. I was like super big in Swimstream's community back then, and I wanted to gift like a few subs to the community there, and was thinking, how do I decide who do I give it? And I saw that, and I was always like, yeah, I like lore, like trivia. All this makes the game feel more alive. And I was like, yeah, let's do some trivia questions. Then it was like, I think 30 trivia questions, and then I asked in Swim's channel, and whoever got it right got then sub gift from me. And then I liked that. So next year I did it again. I think then time was 150 questions. And then the next year it was like 700 questions, and now we're at something like 2000.
Oh god.
That's a massive undertaking.
Yeah. Took quite a lot of time to get this together. Like, I think man hours, hard to tell. I think like if I have to combine everything I did for I think like 3 weeks without sleeping. If
Oh,
you
man.
combine it over the whole year.
Yeah.
I just imagine you just crunch time 3 weeks no sleep, just thinking about the questions.
No, not quite. It's always if I'm like bored and nothing is to do, then I'm yeah, okay, let's do some trivia questions to fill the time.
Oh man. Do you like plan to add like more of them in the future? Like, are you like, is it like an ongoing project as well?
Somehow of an ongoing project. I want to do like trivia questions for every for every card there is. I have already like the card art. I do sometimes like a snippet of the card art. Which card shows this soldier, for example. I also want to do this for voice lines and other stuff. Like the trivia texts are sometimes interesting, or the premium sometimes have a funny or remarkable sound. That's also good. And then obviously if a new expansion hits, then you also have to update the list and include the new stuff. So always something to do. In the last months, I didn't do that much, to be honest. I was a little bit lazy, but when the expansion hits, then I'm certainly updating a few questions again.
With
That's
that being
awesome.
said, are there any nightmare level entries, questions that people can't figure out, even if their life depended on that?
Probably. I try to make them, let's say, doable, usually, but there are a few where I'm like, let's tease them a little bit and let them squirm.
Oh yeah, I remember one question in your stream that even though some people call me the lore master, I was like, I have no idea. And the question was, you showed some art, and you were like, and the question was, to which card does this previous art belong? And that was Incinerating Trap, and I was like, what? Yeah. I didn't see the link whatsoever. It was just some dude standing in front of a house with a torch.
Yeah, it's the Witcher 3 quest where the people burn down the house from some elf lady. And basically a picture of that, and that was Incinerating Trap in Alpha, I think.
Yeah, no way I would have figured out. And you were giving us so many hints, and people were like, Skeletal card? Some dude burning a house in a skeletal card? I mean, it's not sure, is it?
Not quite. Yeah, the toughest one are always like the back in my days. These are always the most difficult ones, I would say. Because there are not that many people who played like in 2017 Gwent. And they might, even if they played, they might not remember that. So that's quite difficult.
There's one more thing I really want to know, because earlier on we talked a little bit about KBT, and you said that you have a couple of entries about him? Are there more entries related to community members?
Yeah, obviously. For example, I have some voice lines for certain streamers, usually the ones you hear on Oceanmud's stream, like, this is the kind of combo. Who is this? It's Crozier. Who else do we have? Then we have something like KBT. Which 3 words ended KBT's entire Reddit career? It was the nice analysis, KBT. Yeah, and then also some other who won tournament XY, something like this is also in there. There are quite a few questions regarding the community.
Oh yeah,
But most is
there is
art.
definitely a question about who sucks at translating Chinese players. You know, the staple of every tournament. Whenever Hesser is translating, somebody has to say that.
Yeah, but this time they didn't say that.
Yeah, I wanted to, but I was too late.
And actually, one guy gave me a really hard time with the translation, with the long translation. But yeah, it went pretty well. Oh, Browser is saying here, who is the most NG dedicated streamer? There we go. That's another question here.
I don't stream anymore, so that's not me.
I'm
Content creator.
Pretty sure I have a question about Merchant of Novigrad too.
Oh, really?
I would have to look to not lie, but
okay, let's have a
19%
look.
sure.
Let's have a look into your Excel file that contains God knows how many thousands of entries.
Yeah, 2,000 entries. Let's see, Merchants of Novigrad. Shit, I lied. I have one about the Top Deck podcast, which happened like 2 years ago.
Yeah, eons ago. Top Deck was actually a team, wasn't it?
Yeah, but they also had a podcast every Thursday.
I think Jagarus was on that podcast.
Yeah, Swim, Jagarus. I think they were the main hosts, if I remember correctly. The rest is a little bit dizzy haze.
Yeah, I can imagine. You know, so much time has passed. Actually, Hesser, we recently talked about that, right? About streamers who no longer stream and who you miss.
Yeah.
You know, guys like Merchant and Alias V and plenty of other players who, you know, Miguel, who moved on and no longer play Gwent.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. Would be awesome to see some of them, like, you know, come back for just a couple of streams, or to, you know, release some sort of video. I think that video could be really popular among the community if Merchant decided to go for one video from Gwent or Mogwai, you know, then it would be really amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. But anyway, chat. What has chat come up with this time, Hesser? Just don't tell me it's not a whole lot.
Not much. They were giving me hard time again, just like the last time. But I actually managed to pick up one question here about the new expansion. And the question was, would you prefer a separate Witcher faction or Witcher cards for every faction? Right? Like, you know, considering the fact that we are apparently getting a Witcher expansion or Witcher themed expansion. I wonder which one would you guys prefer? I think I personally, for example, I would go for Witcher cards for every faction, I'm thinking, and this is probably what we are getting. I don't think that Witcher faction would make any sense. That would be pretty hard to create.
Yeah, you need to come up with so many bronze witches.
Yeah.
It would be crazy, and no, I don't think we need a new faction anytime soon. So
yeah, I think 6 is a sweet spot.
6?
We have 6.
I was thinking 5.
We have 5 factions? No.
It's Nilfgaard.
I'll see you guys later. I mean, right now it kind of seems so. Yeah, right now I agree. The great sun isn't shining very bright.
Yeah.
We will be back.
For sure.
One day, one expansion CDPR will be like, okay guys, this is time for Novigrad to get completely broken cards that we are not gonna nerf for 2 months. Amnesty goes
before.
down to 4 provisions and can steal a 4-point card. Easy game.
Easy balance.
So that's what we've got from chat. You say nothing else.
Yeah, unfortunately. Chat, come on,
think.
guys. You have like 5 seconds to come up with another idea.
Yeah, come on,
here.
chat. We give you a few more seconds because if not, then we'll have to go into the shameless plug segment. Come on, chat. The clock
You
is
will have
ticking.
to give us the money.
It's like the meme with the guy with the stick. Come on, chat. Do them something.
Do something, yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that. No, nothing.
Well,
Browser says he had a nice question.
who's the most NG dedicated streamer? Is that one? Dragon expansion when? Oh, would Feldy join a team? That's the
Probably.
question.
I think I have been approached by one, but I didn't want to join that one. But pretty sure at one point, I would join a team. But so far, I'm still the lonely wolf.
The
That's
lonely
also
Feldy.
fine.
Yeah, and actually we talked a lot about that with Weisenberg as well, about, the reasons of not joining a team, for instance. We also have been approached by some, and we decided to stay we decided to stay teamless too. What are your reasons, for example, if you can share them, obviously? Why
Mine
didn't
or
you want to
Weisman?
join a team?
For me, it's like I wanna. To be honest, the main reason was if you join the team, you have to put something from the team on your stream, and I didn't like
Yeah.
the design of it, so I was like, eh. And I didn't know
Yeah.
that many people from the team, so that
Mm.
was the main reason. I think if I get approached by a team where I know like a handful of people already, and I'm like friends with them, then it would be easy choice.
Yeah, that makes sense, actually.
And
I
you
also don't like it.
also have to do some additional work probably depending on what you do in the team. So not sure how much time I have then for other things because it's already work and stream and not much time for other things to be honest.
True. That was our reasoning as well with Weisenberg.
Yeah, though, let's be honest, if not me joining Team Rankstar, this podcast would never be a thing. Because I was just looking for ways to be more productive within the team shortly after I joined, and I was just looking at other community projects, and I was like, well, Commander's Horn hasn't been very active, so maybe we do a podcast. But then after the team disbanded, I didn't really feel the need to join another group. I mean, as Cesar said, been approached by some, but I felt like I already knew I was not gonna stream a lot or at all, and basically I didn't feel the need. Being a lone wolf is also cool.
Yeah, definitely is.
Oh.
And you can have your own design of channel.
that too, and nobody tells you what to do.
Yeah.
But okay, guys, I feel like we've ran out of juice, so shameless plug moment, Feldy, when our viewers want to check up on you and see what you're doing, where can they find you?
Yeah, obviously Twitch/Euerfeldi. I'm there usually Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning, streaming a few hours of Gwent, and then if I still have time, some Witcher or variety. But usually it's Gwent, especially with the new draft mode. I just want to play so much draft.
Alrighty, Hesser.
Yep. Well, you can find me on Twitch as well, under twitch.tv/Hesser Tavern. If you want to play some draft as well, or maybe some other games, we'll see. We've been playing some Baldur's Gate before, so I'm like leaning into more variety this month. So if you want to pop in, we'll be happy about it.
Okay, guys, since I'm not streaming anymore, I'm not gonna promote my own content, but once again, if you wanna stay in touch with us, with the podcast, with Merchants of Novigrad, you can follow us on Twitter at Novigrad Podcast. You can also join our Discord. I think if you type !podcast, you can get all the links. Plus, as always, this episode is going to be uploaded onto YouTube, Spotify, and a couple of other platforms, either today or tomorrow. And with that being said, Feldi, Hesser, thanks for being here. Once again, had a lot of fun doing the episode. Chat, thanks for staying with us for the last 2 hours. And with that being said, we are gonna see you in 2 weeks. So this time, no longer break, because it took us like 4 or 5 weeks to prep this episode, I think, and there was a lot of internal drama regarding certain things that were to happen.
Yeah,
we had
maybe
some
we're gonna
issues.
start that at some point.
Yeah, I think the episodes that we had in mind are still happening, just not now. But luckily for us, Feldi, who we also had on the list, was like, yeah, I can totally do that day, no problem.
Thank God.
So he saved the day. But once again, guys, thanks for being here, thanks for watching, thanks for being active in chat. We will see you guys later.